On Saturday night, Aussie MMA promotion Impact FC presented fight fans with a night of world-class action in Sydney, Australia. In the evening's main event, UFC Hall of Famer Ken Shamrock squared off against lethal Brazilian Muay Thai practitioner Pedro "The Rock" Rizzo. With only one win in his past 6 outings, the former King of Pancrase was desperate for a victory. Shamrock tried to push the action, but Rizzo was far superior in the stand-up department, punishing the 46-year-old with crushing leg kicks. Although the former Pride star tried to work his brawling game, he was no match for a striker the level of Rizzo. The end came at the 3:33 mark of the very first round, as the accumulation of damage from a multitude of Rizzo's shins to Shamrock's thighs was too much and he could not continue. Referee John McCarthy was forced to step in and ensure the safety of Shamrock, who stated after the bout he is not yet ready to hang up the gloves. In a welterweight special attraction, British slugger Paul Semtex Daly battled jiu-jitsu specialist Daniel Acasio. In a clash of styles, Daly used his superior striking skills to vanquish the master grappler, who showcased his toughness, eating some big shots from the Nottingham, England resident. Daly displayed his ever-evolving game, avoiding the Brazilian's takedowns a number of times before finally falling to the canvas. Daly was very aggressive throughout the contest and did not shy away from the ground battle when Acasio was forced to fight from his back, and he dished out powerful ground and pound before standing once again. In the third round, Daly found himself in top position and unleashed vicious ground and pound. An elbow from Daly cut Acasio's head, and he had no choice but to wave the proverbial white flag, announcing his defeat. In a compelling middleweight matchup, former WEC champion Paulo Filho was paired with well-rounded Canadian fighter Dennis Kang. Kang proved he was not a one-trick pony, avoiding any ground attack from the 20-1 Filho. It would be the Team Black House member who would slow the fight down, working to control from top position. Kang managed to reverse positions on the ground to end up on top a number of times during the bout, which gave him a ton of confidence, not to mention momentum. After 3 evenly contested rounds, the fight would be left in the hands of the judges, and they scored the fight a split draw on scores of 29-28 Filho, 30-27 Kang, and 29-29. In another 185-pound affair, Shooter Box member Murillo Ninja Hua battled Ultimate Fighter 7 alum Jeremy May. Hua, in typical form, came forward throwing some big shots in hopes of knocking out the unheralded May, who was sporting a less than stellar 7-6 record. May seemed unfazed that he was competing against the well-traveled and very experienced Hua, and landed a huge shot that dropped him to the floor. After the former Pride star recovered, he turned up the heat. With less than a minute left in the opening frame, he secured a guillotine that May was unable to get out of. Hua scores the 9th submission victory of his career and improves to 20-10. Former UFC middleweight champion Murillo Bustamante challenged Ultimate Fighter alum and standout wrestler Jesse Taylor. Although only briefly, it would be the Team Quest product Taylor who would be taken down first, but he quickly made his way back to his feet before securing a takedown of his own. Taylor outworked Bustamante with ground and pound until the BTT head coach tried for an armbar from the bottom and was awarded with the full mount before Taylor reversed the position. With a little more than a minute left in the opening round, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt took the back of Taylor but could not maintain control. In the second, Taylor continued to fight in the guard of the 43-year-old and was able to score with heavy punches to the head. Just past the 3-minute mark, the two fighters were stood up by referee John McCarthy, and Bustamante was quite dazed and he could not continue, so the fight was halted, declaring JT Money Jesse Taylor the winner by TKO. In action from the previous week's event in Brisbane, former UFC heavyweight champion Josh Barnett made relative short work of powerful Brazilian Geronimo dos Santos. With 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the opening round, Big John McCarthy intervenes and Josh Barnett extends his winning streak to 6 straight and improves to 26-5. The first Canadian UFC champion Carlos Newton met Shamrock submission fighter Brian Ebersol in an entertaining tilt. Ebersol pushed the action, setting up his shots, and covered well when Newton would throw his hands. In the end, it would be Brian Ebersol getting the nod on scores of 30-29 and 30-27 twice.